Welcome to Cody and the Cinema. Today I'm discussing 5 horror movies that have grown on me over time that maybe I didn't love it at first, but now it's a movie I really enjoy, and it's something that you might want to check out too. If you've heard of these titles, maybe you want to revisit them, maybe you haven't seen them at all. I'll start with one, and it's my favorite, probably on this list, that I've seen so many times since the first time on a bad print when I didn't quite get into it as much, called Carnival of Souls. This is a sort of retread, a very creative one, of the famous short story An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, in which a young woman who's in this car, she's in this crash, and the vehicle goes into the creek. She takes this job to be this organist at this church, and she finds a strange old carnival sort of nearby that church. It's spooky, eerie, a few good little ghostly figures. There's some question about her own perception of reality. And this is a really good performance from Catherine Hilligoss, the star of this show. And the more times I've watched it, the more I've noticed in terms of kind of these subtle themes that are woven in there about women's place in society and how they can be mistreated. Really good movie if you haven't given it a watch. It's a great Criterion pickup as well anytime there's a sale. And just love it. And the next movie that I've picked here is just one of the first 3 of the Friday the 13th series. Be right back. Oh, man. Look, I know these movies may not be paced evenly, and I get that the characters might seem like cardboard cutouts because, let's be honest, they are in many cases. But as far as displaying on screen a creepy bunch of slashing going on at these like summer camps in these locations out in the woods, like I buy that part of it, and I really enjoy the atmosphere of these films almost purely. I like of course, the actual horror icon here, but I don't know, I find an affinity for them. They're like a comfort food for me of horror, and I really, just all 3 of the first ones I like, and the 4th one too. Sorry, the 4th one I almost forgot. The 4th one's like the best one of the first 4. I think they're like all at least fine. Even this one, the 3rd one, gets panned a lot more than the others because this one had all the like 3D effects that look really strange now. But I like them. I think they're enjoyable. The next one is one that the first time I watched it, I was sure it was going to be completely stupid. And in a way it was. And I ended up getting the steelbook of it. I watched it again recently. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of becoming a little bit of a favorite here. I Know What You Did Last Summer. A completely ridiculous movie with Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe, and Freddie Prinze Jr. That's right. What a lineup, huh? This encompasses that late 90s horror feeling like no other. And I tried to watch Final Destination by comparison, even though it's a few years older, to kind of see if I'd like it as much, and I didn't. This is a good mix of like unintentional comedy and over-the-top drama with just a little bit of scares and some suspense and some actually kind of cool slasher elements too, and a pretty tightly woven story. And Sarah Michelle Gellar is probably the best actress here, really trying with her performance. But Ryan Phillippe, there's a part where he like punches one of the characters, and it's so hilarious. Seriously, this is a good time at the movies. Like, this is what you want to see whenever you see a dumb horror movie that has a little bit of heart to it. Great stuff. And I actually thought about being the slicker guy for Halloween, but I don't know how to put the costume together. Next up, now this is a more conventionally well-known title, Night of the Living Dead. I didn't see this in the nice 4K restoration the first time I saw it, like many of you probably. And I put the 4K in whenever I got it last Halloween. And this is a good-looking movie. It is incredibly well-paced. The tension's built. The way that the story unfolds, this is kind of masterful for its budget, and it's innovative, and I love how just dark and brooding. This is a fun movie, especially if I've been replaying through Resident Evil 4, and there's the part in that game where you get like caught in the house, and I think because of my love for that video game, I really enjoy Night of the Living Dead. So it's grown on me over the years. I've seen it 3 or 4 times now, and I think I'll probably watch it again this Halloween. So definitely a classic, I know, but just one I wasn't the biggest fan of at first, but really enjoy it now. And finally, another one that, I thought the first time I saw Ringu, the Japanese version, I thought maybe it was a little slow or something, but I went back and watched it again, and I'll watch it again this year, and I love it. I love that those opening scenes with like the VHS being super creepy, and how like I like the original version of this so much, and maybe it's again like many things, like maybe it's I saw the first print I saw wasn't as high of quality. I don't know. But whatever it is, this has stuck with me. And part of that might even be my affinity for found footage. I love a good found footage movie. Willow Creek is one of my favorite horror movies, okay? Like, I'm shameless. I love found footage when it's done well. So maybe it's like linked into that somehow. And I know this isn't found footage, but it feels like it has elements of that. Some good jump scares in it. Still really enjoy it. So these movies, Carnival of Souls, Friday the 13th, Part 3, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Night of the Living Dead, and Ringu, are all movies I've liked a little bit better over time. What are some of the movies that maybe you've warmed up to in horror or any other genre that you'd like to share? If you want to, if you'd like to, it'd sure help me out if you'd leave a comment with your thoughts below and click that like button. It does always help grow the channel, and we will see you next time on Cody in the Cinema.